Well, holy, did I just have a good time and enjoy watching Russell Wilson play football again? I can't believe that I wanted to watch the man cook. He was doing some things that were vintage Russell Wilson, and I loved every second of it. Back in the day, the dude used to be one of my favorite players, have that unprecedented drop-off in Denver, and just seeing him get exposed by so many different parties just piling on him, it was nice and it was refreshing to see that version of him back, because it just brings you back to that feeling you had when he first came in the league. And you're like, how does this guy who's like 5'9" have the ability to extend plays, throw the deep ball, be creative, and improvise? That is undoubtedly when Russell is at his best. Those rainbow throws just dropping in the hands of Courtland Sutton was absolutely beautiful. And so, I mean, it seems like they're getting things on track there in Denver. They've gone on a little bit of a run here. They've beaten two teams in the last 3 weeks who people think are top 5 of the AFC. They look way better than the Chargers in their division. Huge surprise to see Denver kind of coming into their own and honestly getting what they paid for. Earlier in the season, my thought was, if they don't have a significant improvement over these next few weeks, they're going to kick Russell Wilson out the door. But if he has an opportunity to put a couple of these showings together, he is going to change the national and local narrative. And I think it'll be really interesting to see how this plays out for the rest of the season, because it seems like they've started to put the formula together, and it's finally not so incredibly painful watching the Broncos play. Now, on the flip side of this, we have Buffalo. It's so frustrating to see a team with all of the potential in the world continue just throw it by the wayside. The biggest problem with the Buffalo Bills is always going to be Josh Allen and his alter ego, where he goes into some sort of bizarre tunnel vision and doesn't see anybody around him, doesn't see defenders, doesn't think that hits on his body will pile up over time, and his just overall lack of football awareness. With the way that his play has been trending the last 2 years, what I think you have to be concerned about is that maybe that overtime game in the AFC Championship is just the best that we're ever going to see this version of Josh Allen and this version of the Buffalo Bills. All of the things that haunted Josh in the beginning of his career and in his draft process about his lack of football awareness, all of those things that they warned us about with Josh Allen still exist. Yes, they're on a lesser basis. There's just no argument where you could sit here and say that hasn't plagued him. He seems to be reverting back to what we saw in the beginning of his first 2 seasons, right? Where he's super erratic. He kind of bails on the play a lot sooner. In his defense, in some ways, most of the fact that he has some hero ball is because they haven't been able to develop a running game. But tonight, they balled out on the ground. They really committed to running it. And I think now they see the formula for what it takes to just pound the ball down another team's throat. And when it's working, just keep going with it, right? Take some of that pressure off of your quarterback and take the decision making out of his hands. I think there's a real case that Buffalo may need to make a coaching change, because in the next couple of weeks, if they can't build a sustainable run game and they can't start to mellow Josh Allen out from a coaching perspective, take the ball out of his hand, allow the game to slow down, and allow him to be check down Charlie, because he is really the thing that is holding this team back, but he's also their greatest weapon. But if McDermott can, in these next few weeks, rein Josh Allen in and build off of the momentum of James Cook's incredible running night, then I think it's time to really say that this team may miss the playoffs. They are a completely different team week to week, And when you have a quarterback with that level of ability, being that unpredictable, and you don't know what to expect, there's no repeatability at all this season, it takes an emotional toll on that team. And you're kidding yourself if you think that they can sustain this level of highs and lows throughout the entire season. I've been warning Buffalo Bills fans that they need to call for changes if things don't start to clean up